Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs. With respect to elections in India, who can contest? And the constitution makes it very clear only the citizens of the country can contest in the elections. So maybe it is presidential elections, vice president, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, or at the state level, you have assembly or the legislative councils. But if others contest, if they win, and what happens later? So there is a law, there is a legal system, there is a procedure in the country that will declare that you are not a citizen of India, and that will be declared by the concerned authorities. So why I am speaking to you all these things today is that in Telangana state there is an MLA, even today also he is a sitting MLA, and he belongs to the ruling party, Telangana Rashtra Samiti. He contested in the elections, in one of the assembly elections in the year 2009. At that time, Telangana state was not formed, but it was United Andhra Pradesh. And that person, his name is Mr. Chennamaneni Ramesh. And that person contested in the elections of the 2009 assembly elections. He contested on behalf of Telugudesam party and he got elected from a constituency called Vemulavada. And he became an MLA, and the opposition party who belongs to Congress, so he lodged a complaint in High Court of Andhra Pradesh at the time, and the petitioner said that the concerned person who got elected, Mr. C. Ramesh, is not a citizen of India. What exactly is this? By birth, Mr. Ramesh was a citizen of India, but in the year 1993, so he became the citizen of Germany. So obviously, Indian constitution does not permit for two citizenships. That is the reason why. So he had to give away his citizenship of India and he became the citizen of Germany. Of course, the Citizenship Act of India permits that a person who loses the citizenship can acquire the citizenship of India once again. But for that reason, that person has to stay in India at least for 1 year. 1 year means 365 days, 1 year. So before he submitting the application, so to get back his citizenship of India. So, but what exactly happened to this person in the year 2008? In the year 2008, at the time he was holding the citizenship of Germany and he applied for the citizenship of India. And he got the citizenship just before the elections and he was permitted to contest in the elections and he got elected. So that really created ick with respect to the opposition parties, and immediately the opposition party has moved the High Court. Meanwhile, what happened? This person who contested on behalf of Telugudesam party, he shifted his loyalties to other political party called Telangana Rashtra Samiti, so which is the party that is there in power in Telangana today. He shifted the loyalties, and there was some forced by-elections in Andhra Pradesh at that time. So because these some MLAs belong to TRS, they have resigned, and the election was conducted. This person contested again. Mr. Ramesh, I am talking about, but in the year 2010, he contested on behalf of other political party, TRS party, and again he got elected. So meaning, so he was continued to be the MLA. In the year 2013, High Court of Andhra Pradesh has nullified, and it made it very clear that this person is not a citizen of India. She is not a citizen of India. It was declared in the year 2013. So immediately after that, Mr. Chennamaneni Ramesh has moved the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court has issued the stay on the order that was issued by the High Court. So meaning, so he continued, he was permitted to continue as an MLA, and later in the developments, Telangana was created. And Mr. Chennamaneni Ramesh, again he contested in the year 2014 elections, again he got elected. So during the time, the Supreme Court was again moved, and this person by name Adi Srinivas, he belongs to Congress party. He moved the court again and submitted another petition. And last month, the Supreme Court gave the directions to the Union Home Ministry to decide on the status of this person, whether he is really possessing the citizenship of India or he acquired the citizenship back as per the rules. And yesterday, the Union Home Ministry declared that this person is not a citizen of India. So meaning, so he did not fulfill the criteria that is present in the Citizenship Act of 1955. So meaning that now it is very clear. And again, this person, Mr. Chennamani Ramesh, wants to go for appeal to the Union Home Ministry. So because there is a 30 days time, so where he can appeal again. Then what will happen? He already got elected in the year 2009. Again, he was elected in the by-elections of 2010. And again in the year 2014, he was elected. Then what happens? So what should be done? Now he has been declared as not a citizen. So whether his election will be nullified? So the election commission is silent on this today. So obviously his candidature, his membership in the Telangana Assembly will be nullified, and the orders will be issued by the Supreme Court very very soon, maybe within 1 or 2 days. So meaning is simple. This is the year 2017. So how long the people should wait for the judgment? Are the rules not clear? So when the rules are very clear, why did you take so much of time? That shows the delay in delivering the justice. Clear? This is what exactly the people do not want in the largest democracy in the world. That is the reason why justice has to be delivered at the earliest. Had this justice has come in the year 2010 or 2011, right? So by this time, this person could have been, this disqualified for contesting the elections again. So now what will happen? So once he is disqualified, again there is a vacancy created, elections will be conducted, and without processing the proper qualifications, that person continued as the MLA for quite a long period of time. And who is answerable for this? Right? So that is the reason why, so these are all considered to be the loopholes that are present in the system. So these are considered to be the loopholes that are present in the system, and these loopholes must be rectified at the earliest. Clear? Not just in this case, there are so many areas where the lots of loopholes are there. So right, and the governments must try, and these gaps must be filled up so that the justice will be delivered at the earliest. Clear? So just because it happened in a state today, it does not mean that it will not happen in other states. In various states, it will keep on happening. If it is happening in your state, so try to find out the details. So it may be a question in the examination, or if it becomes too controversial, then obviously, the questions will be asked during your interviews. Okay, so this is one. So next, with respect to the other issue, the Prime Minister of India, after completing his BRICS summit in China, so he landed in Myanmar, and he is going to be back to India from Myanmar. That is tomorrow, right? So on September 7th, he is going to come back, and he held, this very long discussions with the leaders in Myanmar, and lots of issues are going on with respect to Myanmar, especially a minority community called Rohingya, and those people are facing lots of problem. And these people from Myanmar, so they are crossing the borders and they are entering into Bangladesh, and they are also entering into India. Has a very very long history of giving the support to such refugees, and India has provided shelter to larger number of people who came to India from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, and some other places, from Bhutan, other places. So many people have come, and they are being provided, this is shelter. But this time the government is very clear, and the government wants to deport these people back to Myanmar. And that is the reason why, so there is an expectation that certain talks may be held on this. But India is firm, and these people, they will be deported back to this Myanmar. So this is in fact, Myanmar itself is not recognizing these people. That is the reason why there are so many ethnic groups in Myanmar. But Rohingya, so this is not has been recognized by Myanmar. So what exactly is going to happen, we need to see. And some people who belong to this minority Muslim community, they approached the Supreme Court, and they filed a petition requesting that they should be given protection. So they should be given protection, and so we need, and the Supreme Court is asking for the opinion of the central government, but the government is very firm by taking the security issues into consideration. Government has decided to send them back, right? So we need to wait and watch what exactly the Court is going to give the orders, right? Already what happens now, these people have crossed the borders and they entered into India. Some people entered into Bangladesh. So that's a different concept, but they entered into India. So now they have no land. They entered into India, and if we reject them, where do they go? They are not permitted to get back to Myanmar, and they are not being permitted to stay in India. But for the country, our security is also important. So according to Home Ministry officials, security is very important, and the people who cross the borders and enter into some other country like this, so they are more prone and they will be attracted towards the terrorism and terrorist activities. That is the reason why, according to the government of India, it's not safe to keep them in India, and they will be deported back. Clear? And so this is the issue. And with respect to visit of the Prime Minister to Myanmar, and Prime Minister has extended his complete support, and Prime Minister has promised that India will be supporting in various aspects like cultural, economical, and infrastructure projects will be developed in Myanmar. And India has a policy called Act East policy. Previously, it was called Look East policy. Look East policy was a policy that was framed in the year 1992 by then Prime Minister of India, P.V. Narasimha Rao. And after Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India, right, it happened in the year 2015. A new policy has been introduced, and that is called Act East policy. So meaning is simple. It is not just, the policy is not just related to security related issues, but otherwise economic issues, cultural issues, various issues will be coming into picture, and people to people contact must be strengthened, so between India and the East Asian nations. So that is called the Look East policy that has been changed to Act East policy. Clear? Please remember these two things. Act East policy is always there in the news nowadays. Hence, in the examination, they may ask you, who was the Prime Minister that introduced Look East policy? It was the Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao in the year 1992. And Act East policy, that credit goes to our Foreign Minister, Mr. Sushma Swaraj, and the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi. Right? So now I'll show you the document. And please look at this. Look at this. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that India will grant gratis visa to Myanmar citizens wanting to visit the country. Important one, look at this very carefully. It's a visa, meaning you are giving some permission so to enter into India. But this is the greatest visa. Greatest in the sense, no cost. So no cost will be there, and the Myanmar citizens can travel to India. So this is very rarely announced, and the Prime Minister has announced this for all the citizens of Myanmar. So this is how, you know, you will strengthen the relations. And also look at this. And since Myanmar, because of this Rohingya crisis, which is very much there in the news, definitely there will be a question in the upcoming main examination of civil services. Please read that very carefully. Look at the map of this Myanmar and try to find out what are the states of India that are sharing borders with the Myanmar, right? And when it comes to Act East policy, it is not just strengthening the relations with the other nations, but this is a mechanism where you can develop our northeastern states. So that is a very important aspect. Otherwise, northeastern states always feel that those states are, how many states are there? 7 states. So they are considered to be neglected, right? Since it is a part of India, so you have to develop this. And the outlook and the policies of the government have been changed like anything. That is the reason why there is a special emphasis and focus even on the northeastern states, right? And this Act East policy if it is continue to work like this, and over a period of time it will be successful, then our northeastern states will also be benefited like anything with respect to infrastructure and other developments. So this is a wonderful one, and hopefully it should become a very, very, very huge success. Now look at this. So India also decided to release 40 Myanmar citizens who are currently lodged in various jails in India. So Prime Minister said that these people will be released and they'll be meeting the families in Myanmar. That's what the Prime Minister of India has said. So these are called confidence. This is called CBMs. CBM stands for confidence building measures. So this is how you'll be strengthening the relations. You have to build the confidence. Meaning, it is not just the government of some other country, but the people should also believe that some other country is extending its support. So whatever the promises the government of India makes, so those promises once fulfilled, then obviously that will increase. That will increase and strengthen the confidence between the two nations. Look at this. The Prime Minister also asserted that India stands by Myanmar amidst to the challenges the country is facing. The Prime Minister also said deepening the relations with Myanmar was a priority for India as a neighbor, and also in the context of the Act East policy. Look at this I have given. Objective of the Act East policy is to promote economic cooperation, cultural ties, and develop a strategic relationship with the countries in the Asia Pacific region. See here, so this is not restricted only to very nearest areas of the eastern part. Asia Pacific region through continuous engagement at bilateral, regional, and multilateral levels, thereby providing enhanced connectivity to the states of the northeastern region, including Arunachal Pradesh, with other countries in our neighborhood. This is the basic objective of our Act East policy. Kindly see here. So because of this refugee crisis which is going on, UNHCR is very much there in the news. UNHCR stands for United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, and in fact, it was created in the year. It's one of the. It is one of the various organs of United Nations. It was created in the year 1950, and the basic objective is that after the World War II, so many people have traveled and they have crossed the borders and they entered into some other countries, and where they were not welcomed. So obviously, on the humanitarian grounds, you are supposed to give the support to them. So during that time, in order to extend the support to the so-called refugees, so this organization was created. It happened in the year 1950. So now the question, because it is very much there in the news, at any time it may be a question. So kindly have a look at this. The question is related to where exactly it is located. Look at this. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees is located in New York, Geneva, Vienna, or Paris. Answer is Geneva, Switzerland. Clear? Option B is the answer. Look at this. Important. So kindly remember this. Okay. And it was established on December 14th, 1950. And look at the beautiful thing. It won 2 Nobel Peace Prizes. One in the year 1954 and the other in the year 1981. Wonderful. Look at this. So this is related to, this. Look at this. I was discussing with you with respect to the citizenship. His name is Channamaneni Ramesh. He's an MLA in Telangana state today. And he was an Indian citizen by birth, and after moving to Germany, renounced his Indian citizenship in the year 1993 to take the German citizenship. Later, with the intention of contesting elections, he came back to India and he reapplied for the citizenship on March 31st, 2008. And the Supreme Court very recently on August 28th directed the Union Home Ministry to submit a report within 6 weeks on Ramesh's citizenship status following a petition filed by then former chairman of there is a temple. It's a very famous temple in Vemulavada. Vemulavada is a pilgrimage. It's a pilgrimage, and lakhs of people will visit. And Lord Shiva is there. Lots of lakhs of people will visit this place, and this is called Raja Rajeshwara Swami Devasthanam. Right, and that person who was the chairman of that great temple, so he appealed to the court, and finally he got the justice. And very soon orders will be issued, and this particular person's election will be nullified. Clear? That is the reason why one needs to respect the laws. That is a basic idea. And if the legislators themselves do not respect the laws, then who will respect the laws? Clear? And that's all for the day. I'll stop at this stage, and I'll see you tomorrow with more current affairs. So thank you so much for being with me this evening. I wish you all a very good luck. Thank you so much. Good night.